Hi guys, today is a different video. It's on the move. We're gonna explore potential investment property for the first time in London to be transformed into a short-term rental, which is like, as you know, Airbnb, VRBO. So tune in. I have also a very special guest with me, so let's get into it. Hi, this is Silvia. Welcome back to my channel. As you know from other videos, I'm passionate about properties, and today we're gonna see what you actually can buy in London for almost $500,000, and it's not a lot. And today with me is a very special guest, an award-winning director, filmmaker, writer, property investor, and mainly my fiancé, Cengiz Davis. Hi, Cengiz. So I am totally new to London market. You've been investing in London and you know a lot about it because you've been doing it for
20 years.
Yes, yeah. But have you done vacation rentals in UK or London?
No, I've always bought properties that have been long-term rental. The normal sort of is 1 year contract, but ideally 2-year contracts.
What do you think is the current market in London? Because we're in May 2022, the inflation is going up, the interest rates going crazy. I'm familiar with US market, they just doubled, making it very difficult for investors to invest. So what's happening in UK, London?
Well, generally, property mortgages and now interest rates have generally been lower than America historically, and like at the moment, I think for an investor you're looking at about between 7 and 8.5% on a mortgage in the US, whereas in the UK you're looking at around about 3.24%.
Wow, that's a massive difference.
Huge difference. So you know, if you think about it, money's cheaper in some respects, but property generally on a year-on-year, decade-on-decade kind of fluctuates on an upward escalating scale. So what that means is basically that, you know, the norm is kind of in most places property will double every 10 to 12 years.
And London's been quite bulletproof during like the pandemic. The property prices actually went up, right? While in outside London, in other parts of UK, it was like problematic, it went down.
Well, London is a bit of a bubble because, you know, it's still considered the financial capital of the world, and it takes many centuries to build something like London. So the infrastructure here is amazing, entertainment, you know, you name it. London has it all. It's a big city. So people from all over the world want to and need to be here for various reasons, and obviously work is a big one. So yeah, so London, and especially certain parts of London, can be fairly recession proof, but you know, it doesn't mean to say property doesn't stagnate or pause for a while or drop slightly, because it does. But historically, again, there's all these things you can find out on the internet. If you go back the last 10, 20, 30 years, just pick a location, pick a property and look at the history of it, you know, it informs you of how property moves.
Yeah, and today we're gonna see a tiny terrace house, which is basically the size of our garage in LA house. But for you guys who are from London, know that the property prices here are crazy, but it might be a good investment just because it's London and it's such a stable market, and if it's a long-term investment it could make sense. So we're gonna go and see it, but I don't know what to expect. Yeah, I just know it's tiny. What do you think about like short-term rental in London?
That's not my area of expertise, but again, you know, you can get lots of the information that you need by just looking at who's already doing it. So for instance, with Airbnb, Silvia is a super host and more of the expert in that than I am, but where I get my information is I've used Airbnb for many years all over the world, and you know what you realize that actually is if you put any location in, you can see properties, you can see how much they're renting for per night, and then you can check their calendar and see how booked they are. So that's a really easy way to see if there's actually a market for having a short-term rental in any given location. So in this one particular, it's a good location in London. It's quite easy to get into the centre of London. So, and if you look on the calendar to local properties, there aren't huge amounts, but the ones that are up seem to be booked pretty year in, year out. And that would mean, you know, financially, it would make more money as a short-term rental rather than a long-term rental. I think as a long-term rental, it would probably just break even. Whereas a short-term rental, it could actually make some money!
Yeah, you guys, check out my video about market research and exploring your competition, because that could give you an insight how to research and use very basic tools before you invest or before you decide to rent a property in a specific area. For you guys who are new to the channel, like and subscribe, and also check out Cengiz's channel, Cengiz Dervis, and a sister channel to this one, See Our World. I'll put the links below. Meanwhile, we're almost at the property, so we're excited to see it, and we'll come back with a feedback. Quick update. We just arrived to the property at the perfect timing, and the agent called us saying that he's not available.
The agent's office called to say that the agent who was supposed to be here to show us the property is called in sick. So 2 minutes before he's actually meant to be here, they've informed us, which is obviously very, very professional. And we'll see, maybe the seller can show us the property. If not, this video will all be about sunshine and beautiful people.
I'll film the property from outside and see if I can get inside, like through the roof or the window. Amazing news, guys. As you saw, we made it. The agent showed up, but not the sales agent, another agent, but doesn't matter. We saw the house. So what do you think, Cengiz, now that you are trying to get out of this parking
I think
space?
I'm trying to get out of a very tight parking space and not crash the car. So my initial thoughts are it's a good space. It could make a good short-term rental. The area is good. It's surrounded by bars, restaurants, gyms, close to quite a few train stations. Within sort of under 15 minutes you've got about 3 stations
To go to central London.
So that's really cool. And it's got a cool outdoor space.
Yeah, a good size patio with a sun trap in it when you get a sunny day in England.
Yeah, it's you just have to. It needs a bit of love. It needs the roof checking, and I think you could be quite creative about how you lay the space out in terms of how many people you're willing to service. I was saying 4 people, Silvia was saying 6, but it all depends again how creatively you lay out the space. And
You could have a family with small kids. They do say it's a 2-bedroom, but let's be honest, you guys saw that's a tiny little room. The house is listed as a 2-bedroom, but as you guys saw, the tiny little room is a good office space, or it could be a nursery, or if like we're hosting a family with kids, we just could put like kids bed there. So I think they're asking a crazy price. In dollars it would be almost $500,000, right? But yeah,
it's on the market for £425,000, so that's quite a lot.
It's a lot for honestly a 1-bedroom, so you have to negotiate a better deal, and it needs love. It's definitely not rentable right now.
Yeah, it's okay, you know, if you've been living there for a while, but it just needs a bit of attention. It needs regrouting in the bathroom. It needs some boxing in the pipes. The whole place needs to be painted, and there's just some tidying up to do. You know, basically a good handyman could sort it all out.
Yeah. So do you think it's a good investment or not?
Yeah, give us some comments. See what you think. Tell us what you think. How would you lay it out? How much would you offer for it?
Yeah, you guys, comment below and let us know your thoughts about this house. We'll probably do other videos about our houses in London. But meanwhile, like and subscribe and check out Cengiz Dervi's channel for more inspiring videos.
The world's greatest actor.
Yeah, that's right. See you on the next one. Comment below any thoughts, and we'll see you soon.